You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Ring the bell. It's time for episode 169 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Sean Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Welcome to the show, everyone. This is the Soul Forge podcast. I'm your host, Sean, and today we're here to talk about going back to school. And what brought that on? Well, as you know, it's been the longest March break in the history of humanity, and this past week, everybody here in Canada, and probably most other places, have gone back to school. All the kids are back in school this week, or last week, whatever, depending on where you are geographically. So what better time than now than to talk about going back to school rituals, all that kind of stuff. So this week, Julie's daughter Malika went back to school, and I got a little bit of a voice clip from her first day back. I'll play that in a little bit. But I guess what I wanted to do was just talk about what it's like to go back to school. Now, last week I had my 44th birthday, so I obviously haven't been in school for more than 20 years, but I do have all kinds of memories of going back to school and what the rituals were and what it entailed and all that kind of good stuff. So if I cast my memory back, first thing I can tell you is that because my birthday is at the beginning of September and school starts at the beginning of September, I always knew how old I was in what grade. So that was very convenient and very handy. I would turn the new age at the first week of school, whenever that was. So that was always very good. Handy reference guide, looking back at your memories. It's just very convenient. But going back to school meant the few weeks leading up to back in September school time meant going shopping for back to school clothes. And that was quite the ritual. Usually 2 to 3 weeks before school would start, Mom would take us kids, and back in the day it was probably Byway or Zellers, that kind of thing. We didn't have a lot of money, so the clothes were not the best, but she always made sure they were clean, and so she would buy these clothes for us, and then they would sit in our closet or our dresser, and we weren't allowed to wear them until school started. So definitely no wearing of the new shirts or pants, and just wear your old clothes until school starts, kids. That was what that was. And then of course school would start, and then we'd get the list of things that we needed for supplies. Now, often in the summer we would have already pre-purchased most of that, but there's always things that you need later on. So of course you need a pencil case, you need binders, you need school bags, lunch boxes, calculators, pencils, pencil crayons. Depending on what the school had for supplies, you might have to buy your own protractor and compass set, but not necessarily. Sometimes that stuff was provided. So 2 to 3 weeks before school started, clothes, some supplies, and then the week after school started. That's when you got all the extra stuff that you needed to bring for that particular year for whatever your classes were. So binders and paper and pencils and markers and you name it, depending on what it was. So that was a yearly ritual, and I think most of you people can probably relate to that. Something that Trish started for my son Bishop, what we would do is on the first day of school, we would take a video of him standing in the driveway and asking them what he was doing, what his name was, what his school was, where he lived, and all that kind of stuff. And the questions would change year after year as he got older and so on and so forth. So and now he is just about to start grade 10. As I'm recording this, he starts grade 10 tomorrow. And yesterday, actually, Malika started her first day. So there's a bit of a staggered start this year because of the whole COVID quarantine stuff. So I asked Trish, I said, did you record him? And she's like, oh, no, don't worry. I'm doing it tomorrow when he goes back on Thursday. I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, I didn't forget. I'm like, no, I didn't think you would. And the thing is, this year he's not going to school. He's going to do some online learning. So he's been in quarantine since March, just like everybody else has been. But he's not going to school like most of his classmates. Various reasons. I think he should go to school. I think he needs the exercise. He needs the social exposure. Maybe it's the healthiest thing in the long run because who knows what's going to happen. A lot of schools, universities, colleges have gone back and they're already all in quarantine again because of the exposure and the lack of social distancing and maybe not wearing masks and stuff. So maybe it's the best option overall for him to stay back for the first month and a half. Who knows? Because that's what this year, 2020-21 school year is all about. You can either go to school or you can learn online, or you can do a combination of both, I believe. There's all kinds of different things in different areas. So I don't have Bishop's perspective. He's just not looking forward to anything, really. He just wants to play video games all day. And he'll be 15 in December, so really I guess you can't blame him too much for that. Who'd want to go back to school after being off for 6 months, right? I know I wouldn't. So, what I'm going to do is play a promo for another podcast here on the ESO Network, and then I'm going to play Malika's little chat about her first day of school.
Hey everyone, this is Carrie the Metal Geek, and I would like to invite you to hang out with myself and my fellow Metal Geeks as we have all kinds of discussions about heavy metal, films and TV shows, video games, theme parks, comic books, and whatever else is tickling our geeks. Please visit our website at metalgeekspodcast.com and follow us on all the social medias including Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Metal Geeks. We are also proud members of ESO Network, so you can check everything out at esonetwork.com. Keep it metal, keep it geeky, stay safe, and see you on the next episode.
Okay, so tell me all about your first day of school.
What I did is I went to play outside.
You went to play outside?
And I learned how to read and do exam. And, well, I didn't do much.
Uh-huh.
All I did is eat.
You ate? What'd you have for food?
I had my banana thing.
Your what?
My bear paw and banana.
Oh, a banana bear paw.
And
very nice.
I had my...
So this is your first day of grade 2, right?
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I am 6.
And when are you going to be 7?
Before Halloween, October 20th.
So October 21st?
Yeah.
And today is September 8th. So just a month and a half, and then you're going to be 7.
Yeah.
And you're in grade 2. Today was your first day.
Mm-hmm.
And were all the kids in school today?
No, all of them.
How many were in your class? Do you remember?
No, not really. They was in with me and my table, and my friend did Emily. She didn't have nobody with her
Okay.
on her table, but we could be face to face.
And did you have to wear a mask?
Yes, but not in the class.
Not in the class?
Outside.
Just in the class.
Yes, not. I don't have to wear it outside, but
Okay.
if I want to be close to somebody, like close, like really, like not that close though.
Yeah.
Then I have to wear my mask.
Okay.
And if I take off my mask, I can't go that close.
Okay, that makes sense.
Not
And did
even
the
the
teacher wear a mask all day?
Yeah, she had to though.
The whole day?
Yeah.
And did everybody in your class wear a mask?
Emily, yeah.
Okay.
And that's it, me. But because the other ones didn't want to, and they were allowed, so we don't need to.
Oh, okay. So was it a fun day?
Yeah.
Did you learn anything, or was it just playing and eating and seeing your friends, or did you actually do schoolwork on your first
I
day?
did schoolwork only once.
Like
only
what?
2 schoolwork.
What was it?
It was we had to make the monster we could make the monster. We had a little monster figure,
Uh-huh.
and after we could eat or scribble on it
Okay.
all over it,
Yeah.
or we could draw straight lines. So I did that.
And was it fun?
Yes.
Okay.
And on my other project, we had a little notebook thing. We cut it up
Mm-hmm.
into 2, and then before we cut it up, we talked about the germs, and I got a chance to tell everybody how to read. Madame helped me a little to read it.
Yeah.
And it was a little hard for me, but I did half of it right without Madame's help, and half of the down one without Madame's help.
Okay. Very cool. Are you sad that the March break is finally over?
What's March break?
Well, March break is when you were off school last, and then March break was supposed to last an extra 2 weeks, and then it actually lasted till the end of summer. So you've been off March, April, May, June, July, and August. So it's been 6 months since you were at school. Did you miss it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're glad to be back.
Yeah.
Any other words of wisdom for our listeners?
To have fun,
Have fun.
seeing the podcast, and to big thumbs up.
A big thumbs up for the podcast.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for being on the show.
Okay. Bye!
Everyone these days could use a little support, and your friends at the ESO Network are no different. With the ESO Network Patreon, the cool thing is when you help support us, it's you who will benefit. With 4 tiers starting for as little as 25 cents a week, you can listen to some of your favorite network podcasts early, hear exclusive content, maybe get some ESO swag, or even possibly take a shot at the geek seat. All you need to do is sign up at patreon.com/ESO Network.
And wasn't that wonderful? I'm not sure how coherent all of that was, or if you could understand everything she said, because she was quite excited. But yeah, so back to school. She was off today. This is Wednesday, and tomorrow she goes back again. And I guess after that, it's just regularly scheduled routines again. She's in grade 2, and she does not have to wear a mask because anybody under grade 4 does not have to, but we have chosen to have her wear a mask, and I believe from the information that I could get from her at least, most of her classmates are wearing masks as well. Whether they're wearing them all day or not, we don't know. Are they trading them amongst their friends? I hope not, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the whole thing. But yeah, that's what's happening there. What else is going on? The school that I deliver the mail to has opened back up, and when I deliver their mail, I have to put on a mask, so I carry it in my pocket with me, because that's the only business on my route, so I have to wear the mask for that. But for everywhere else, I don't have to, because it's just going from house to house or apartment building to apartment building, and I don't see too many people, so I don't have to wear a mask, which is nice, because I've had to wear masks in Walmart and other businesses, and if you don't have a properly fitting mask, it hurts your ears. You can breathe just fine, but it does fog up your glasses. There's the whole debate on are we masks or anti-maskers and all that kind of stuff, which I don't want to get into on this episode. It was just basically a quick back to school episode. I don't really have too much to say about it. It's just I'm glad that I did not grow up during a pandemic, because it seems like there's a whole pile of stuff that kids have to get used to these days, and it's not enjoyable whatsoever. So a shorter than usual episode for you folks this week, but yeah, sometimes that happens. I'm sure next week will be even more exciting and adventurous, and who knows what we'll talk about. But anyway, why don't you go ahead and check out soulforgepodcast.com. All of our links to various things are on there. All the archives for all the old episodes are there. You can follow the iTunes preview and leave a review in the iTunes store. You can find us on Spotify. You can find the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, the Facebook page, Twitter, and of course, if you care about the show and have some extra cash in your pocket, you can support me on the Ko-fi account. That's ko-fi.com/rustedsoul. The link is also on the web page. You can just get it from there. But anyway, just tell your friends about the podcast. Hope you enjoy it. I hope you'll come back next week for more excitement and adventure. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, be patient. Everything is coming together. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge Podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.